Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Sean with thegoodstuffblog.com, and today what I want to do is go over TrueCrypt, which is a open source, free software encryption program that I've used for years. It's great to have. I use it to encrypt jump drives. I use it to encrypt portable hard drives, and basically when you're carrying a hard drive around, jump drive around, if you lose it, somebody gets their hands on it, you don't want them to get all your files. So by using TrueCrypt, you're able to encrypt your jump drive or your portable hard drive, and that's a password, so you actually have to have a password to access all your files. You won't have to worry about somebody getting a hold of it and seeing all your stuff. So that being said, what you want to do to use this software is go to TrueCrypt.org, go to their down section, and just download it. They have the Windows 7 XP, or if you're using Mac, you can download Mac, and then they also have Linux. So download it. I've got it here on my desktop, and just simply click on it, open it up, run it, and read all the jargon and accept it. Click on the checkbox for accept it, and accept it. Now here's just a little thing that I've learned while I've been using this. If you're using Windows 7, you can go ahead and click on extract and extract it to your actual little jump drive that you want to have it installed on. Okay, mine's not in here right now. Let me drop my, you'll see I've only got a few things here. So if I plug my jump drive in, it's going to show up now here, and well, it should. I'm waiting and I'm waiting, and it's still not showing up, so let's try it again here. Browse, and there it is, it's right there. Okay, so if you're using Windows 7, you can go right to this step here and extract it to your jump drive. I'm using Windows XP on this particular computer, so what you'll first want to do, I'm going to cancel this, is go ahead and install it on your actual computer. Reason being is I found that there usually ends up being errors and stuff like that if you don't actually have the TrueCrypt installed on your Windows XP machine. So again, you'll want to click on it, run it, read and accept, and do the install here. Okay, I've already done this. It's installed on my computer. I don't need to worry about that. So now at this point, after you've installed it on a Windows XP machine, then you go through this, click on it again, do extract, and browse to your jump drive. There's my jump drive, doing OK. I'm going to extract it. I'm extracting all the files to my jump drive. Okay, that's been done. I'm going to finish it, and there's my jump drive E there, and here's all the files. Okay, now just going to minimize this and turn it off, and then I'm going to go here to my TrueCrypt, which is installed on the actual computer, open it up, and what I want to do now is I want to create a traveler disk setup. Okay, so I go to traveler disk setup, click on browse. I want it to be set up on my Kingston, doing OK, and I want it to start TrueCrypt when I plug it in. Now I'm going to cancel this. I skipped through a warning thing that I wanted to just kind of briefly go over. When you get this, it's not going to show up this time. You'll get a little pop-up box that says, hey, there could be some issues, blah blah blah, but this is a Windows issue, this is not a TrueCrypt issue. Just doing okay, it's not a big deal. As long as you're using it, you're going to use it for normal everyday purposes, you're not going to have any issues. Okay, so just doing okay. Why they have that, I don't know. I guess it's just something else to make us all confused so that someone like me has to come and do a little quick tutorial on how to do it. So again, let's browse to where we want to go. We want to go on our traveler disk setup is going to go to the Kingston jump drive. We want to start when we plug it in, and we click on create. And this is just kind of preparing it. So TrueCrypt traveler disk has been successfully created. Go ahead and click on OK and close. Okay. Now if we open this up, there's some new files on this disk now. You had a number of files that were here when we installed it, and then we did the travel disk setup, and we've got that all right here with a little auto run deal. Okay. Now what you want to do is you actually want to create the encrypted portion on this jump drive where all your files are going to go and are going to be password protected. Now, I'm using a jump drive. This could just as easily be a portable hard drive, just the only difference being that the portable hard drive is much bigger and it'll take longer to actually encrypt. Okay, and so the process is we're in TrueCrypt, we go to Tools, Volume Creation Wizard. Just keep everything default. We're going to create an encrypted file container. Click on Next. Again, leave it default, standard TrueCrypt volume. And volume location, and it wants you to select a file. We don't have a file set up yet, so what you want to do is just type, actually go to select a file, okay, and you want that file to be on your TrueCrypt jump drive, and there's my jump drive, and we're going to actually type a name for this file. We're actually like creating a file that's going to be the encrypted file where all of our other files are going to go into. It's kind of like an encrypted folder per se, and you just call this whatever you want. You can call it my files, you can call it my encrypted files, whatever you want, doesn't matter. So files, except I can't type today. So I'm just going to call it my files. Okay, there we go. Now there's the file, and you click on Next. I'm sorry, you create your file, you click on Next, and here's your encryption options. TrueCrypt has all kinds of different options that you can use for encrypting your jump drive or your portable hard drive. Just keep everything standard. Again, default. The default's fine. It's what I've always used. You're still going to be safe. You're still going to have your files protected. And so leave everything default here. Click on Next. Now, at this point, you want to create, you want to tell it how big. In my case, I've got a 1 gig jump drive here. And what it's showing me right here is that I've got 971.84 megabytes free. Okay. If this was a portable hard drive with, say, 320 gigs, you would want to change this here to gigs, and it would, down here it would say something like 297 gigabytes GB is what it would say. Because I've got a small jump drive, that's not the case, so I'm just going to leave it on megabytes. And since there's 971.84 available, I'm just going to do 970. It gives me a little bit of space. It's not encrypted that I'm not going to really use, but that's okay. I'm going to use 970 megabytes for this little 1 gig jump drive. Okay. Again, if you were using a portable hard drive, it would be the gigabytes, and you would just type in how many. If it was a 320 gig hard drive, again, you would probably have 319 available or 318 available, and you would just select gigabytes and then type in your 318. Okay, we're not doing that for this case, so we got the small little jump drive, 970 megabytes, and click on Next. What password do we want to use? Pick a password. For this purpose, I'm just going to do something simple. I'm going to call it password. Don't use this password. Just going to be the first thing someone tries when they try to crack your password. For this particular purpose, I'm going to do passwords. And again, I just use display password so that you guys can see what I was typing. When you're actually doing it, you can click it on and off at will. Click on Next. Gives you a little warning here at this point saying, hey, you're using a short password. Short passwords are easy to crack. Are you sure you want to use it? I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah, I'm sure. Okay. Now, what you're seeing here right now is this is kind of a random pool slash encryption algorithm that's kind of being generated as we're looking at this. And what TrueCrypt recommends on their website and in their documentation is that you go and you start moving your mouse. Okay, this random pool changes based on how you move your mouse around your desktop here, and you want to just be random about it. You don't want to of course, it's going to be random anyway, but just move it around. And they say the more you move it and the longer you move it, the stronger the key is going to be. So, you could sit and do this for minutes, for hours. Most people just do it for, a minute or so. I'm just sitting here moving it around while I talk, and it's going to supposedly create a stronger encryption key. Okay, so after you're done, you simply click on Format. Okay, now what's happening, what's going on right now is it's actually creating the encrypted container that's going to be password protected that I will actually use for all my regular files. And once this is done, I'll tell you or show you how to get into that and play with it. Right now it's saying we got about 3 minutes for this to do this job. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause this recording and let this just kind of run, and then I'll come back and unpause it when it's finished, and you guys will be able to see what it looks like once it's completed. Again, something to point out: if you're encrypting a portable hard drive that's got 320 gigabytes or 500 gigabytes or a terabyte or 2 terabytes, the bigger it is, the longer it can take to encrypt. And what I've found is on my older laptop, which I'm working on now, it's a little dinosaur, it's 5 years old, it could take 10-12 hours to encrypt a hard drive. Notice here it's just showing minutes. On my Windows or my other machine, it's a newer machine. It's a Windows 7. It's got a quad-core processor, and it's a pretty souped-up machine. It's fairly fast, and it's relatively new, just a couple of months old. A hard drive would take 3 or 4 hours instead of 10 or 13. So just want to point out that if you do something big, you're just going to have to be patient and let it run, and it's going to take a number of hours. I would recommend that if you're going to encrypt a portable hard drive, that you do it on a computer that's relatively new, and just a nicer computer, so that the job will get done in a reasonable amount of time. So supposedly we got about just over a minute or so left, and again, I'm going to let this run. I'm going to pause it, and I'll come back here in a minute. So be right back. Okay, everybody, I'm back, and it's been completed. And you'll notice right here it says the TrueCrypt volume has been successfully created. Okay, click on OK, and you're done. It's been created. Now, what do you do from here? Let's pop this open, and I'm going to show you what we've got so far. Here's my Kingston jump drive. I open that up. It's got the normal TrueCrypt files that I've installed and extracted on it. And here is my encrypted file. This is my files. Now if I just go to this and click on it at this point, nothing's going to happen. It's going to kind of go through and process, and it's trying to process, and it doesn't even know how to open at this point. And you're going to get that every time if you just try and click on it to open it. It's not going to happen. Okay, so cancel. What you have to do is you actually have to go to your TrueCrypt software and start it all up. And at this point, you want to pick a letter that you want to use to open up your encrypted files. It needs to have an actual drive letter. These are all the available letters that you have available to be used. For me, I'm going to use T for TrueCrypt. How's that? Okay. Now I want to be able to get in this file or this area that's encrypted, and I want to select a file, and I go to my jump drive, okay, and I go to my files, and I do open, and here you'll notice it says my files. Now what I need to do is I need to click on Mount. And here's where it shows it gives me my password option, okay? And again, if you don't remember, I just used password, okay? Doing okay, and it opens up. Guess what? I now have my little file section is open. Now if I go here, I can open that up. Oh, it's not working, I'm sorry. Go back up to my computer and see this local disk. See that little thing here? See, it's TE my files. There's my T my files. Now, anything you're working on that you want to be protected and encrypted, while you're working on it, when you're done, you just save it to there. I'm going to drag from a desktop my little TrueCrypt setup. It's now going to be encrypted here. Okay. At this point, when you're all done working, you can either dismount all, and that dismounts all your encrypted containers that you might have open. You could just do an exit. It might throw something, an error that says, hey, are you sure you want to exit? You could even just pull your jump drive out, and sometimes that's okay. I would recommend clicking dismount all. Okay, and at this point, again, it's going to pretty much close down that encrypted file. And now to open it up again, you would have to go and select it and go through the process to enter your password and all that. Okay, kind of clunky. Now, you can leave it like that, and it's fine. My thing is, what I like is I want to be able to plug my jump drive in and have TrueCrypt start and ask me for a password automatically. And that's what I'd like to see happen. And you can do that. And in order to do that, again, what you want to do, you want to actually first go and select your file. You go to your jump drive, you go to your file, do an open. There it is right there, volume E, my files, I'm highlighting it. Okay. Now you actually want to mount it on the drive that you want to use. Again, I'm going to use T. Go ahead and mount. And here I just type my password, which is for this purpose is password. Doing okay. Okay, so what's going on right now is it's mounting it. There it is. Now, at this point, right click on this and do a add to favorites. Okay, so there's my favorites. Now, at this point, what I want to say is mount selected volume when the host device gets connected. What this means is I want this to open and mount this my files here and ask me for the password when I plug in my hard drive or my jump drive, and I simply do an OK. Alright, so that's done. I do dismount. Everything's done here. I'm going to do an exit. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to go ahead and just close TrueCrypt down. Okay, now I'm unplugging my jump drive, and now I'm going to plug it in. It's plugged in. I see lights on it blinking. It's kind of going crazy. It's blinking. Now, if I did this correctly, it should be asking me for the actual password. Evidently something's wrong, and I've done this recording now probably 4 or 5 times. Each time I run into issues. It's obviously not going and asking me for the actual TrueCrypt deal, and now it is. As soon as I clicked on TrueCrypt up here, it did. If I had done it right, and again this works on Windows 7, as soon as I plugged my jump drive in, this little password box would have come up automatically. I'm guessing it's a Windows XP issue, and I'll have to investigate that further. But for now, I'm going to leave this the way it is and get this published so people can use it. And again, you just type in your password. Doing okay. It's got my files open, so I can now go to T, and there's the one file that I had moved in there and saved. So that's how that works. Again, for XP, when you plug your jump drive in, if it doesn't start automatically and ask for your password, just go ahead and open up the TrueCrypt on your computer, and then it should prompt you for that password just fine. Hope that this kind of gives you guys an idea on how to use TrueCrypt, and that you go out and start using it, encrypt your stuff. If you think this is cool, give it a thumbs up. Also go to thegoodstuff.blog.com and check out all my other tutorials. I've got all kinds of good stuff on the Good Stuff blog, tutorials on software, book reviews on books I've read that were really, really cool. reviews on products that I think are really cool. But a lot of what I like to put on there are just tutorials on the software that I like to use. So thanks again for checking it all out. Hope it's helpful, and we'll talk at you next time.